Welcome my friends to another exciting adventure of Guild Wars 2. Today we're going to be bringing you guys a guide on how to get to Platinum. I'm going to actually try and record as many of my matches in ranked as I can, and I'm going to try and create a perfect guide to show everyone the proper way to reach Platinum without any problems. I'm going to start from the very beginning. This is, I believe, my very first placement match in this season, ranked season 7, and I'm just gonna show you guys what you need to do, okay, to properly reach the higher echelons of play, because I know that every one of you guys wants to be in that special room that all the pro players lovingly have, all the pro players that are full of integrity and incredible sportsman-like behavior, all the guys that worked really hard to get paid money to play in other accounts, on shared accounts, all those guys. And I want you guys to join them in the room so you can also pretend to be an excellent player in Guild Wars 2. And here I'm using the first thing you guys have to notice is the build that I'm using. As you can see, it's actually a very important and very powerful build for Necromancer. It's actually the Minion Mancer build. And this build is very important because it allows you to contribute everything you're going to do by pressing 1 on your keyboard. You'll see the 1 key. It is to the upper left of your keyboard, not quite where the escape button or the F keys are, but it's pretty high up there. And you can actually do a lot for your team simply by keeping the 1 key pressed as long as you can. And the rest of the time, your minions will actually do everything for you. And that's what being skilled in this game is all about. You need to have a build that can basically kill your enemies for you. Okay, I need you to the proper way to reach Platinum, okay, is for you guys to be able just take a nice bag of Doritos, a few sodas, and some Mountain Dew, and just sit there. Just sit there with your 1 key pressed and perform as well as you can. And the second thing you need to know, okay, is that playing Necromancer is the other best way to reach Platinum, because Necromancer is actually an extremely powerful class in this game, especially Raper. And it looks like there we were killed by a scumbag. My teammates are dutifully chasing him all over the map to make sure he dies. And it actually looks like my team has completely lost map control. We actually have nothing going for us. But yeah, I was talking about Necromancer, you guys. And when you're playing Necromancer, just remember you need to stay as far away from any opponent as possible, because despite the fact that you have a second life bar, you actually have the least survivability of any class in the game, despite having absolutely no mobility whatsoever. And that is what I'd like to call perfect absolute balance, because when something is just so great, so incredibly well done, it is maximum, it is absolute, and Necromancer is absolute balance, as you can see there. And my teammates are all in the toilet right now. Very unfortunate for me, but you know, you have to try your best no matter what the circumstances, and just spawn some minions, just use some fears, hit some guy, and watch him blink away with no problems whatsoever. And just keep going, you guys. And since we are completely screwed here, I am just gonna come here and regroup with my buddies, because in this game you really do need some buddies to help you out, and you should help them out when you can. That's a high level tip there that you guys need to incorporate. Okay, you have to help your friends. And we have this Reaper here. I believe he's another dogshit Reaper. He does have an axe, and the axe is a little bit try hard if you ask me. Okay, you're sitting there, and instead of pressing 1, you press 2. It requires no skill, you guys, but my build does. My build is actually what you should be trying to use, and we are just kiting him. As you can see, one of the best things about Raper is that you can turn into a powerful melee form that people dodge once away from, and then just kite you and you do no damage at all, which is what you saw there. He did go into Reaper form first, and I dodged backward once, and I just ran away. And he accomplished absolutely nothing. And that's how Reaper works, you guys. That's what makes Reaper the most well-represented class in the game. We have here a heroic Mesmer. He does have a staff, and he does use his invulnerability for reasons that I'm sure are pretty good. We do have a ranger, I believe. Is that a ranger? I don't actually know who the hell it is. Yes, it is a ranger, a druid, who does have a fancy greatsword, and he is gonna smack that bitch up a little bit. So, since I see a interesting congregation of people here, I'm gonna try and go to another point. But unfortunately, I'm gonna have this necromancer here guarding his point dutifully. And I have a warrior here, and warriors, as you know, can be a bit problematic. But this guy decides that it's time to go down to the middle, and he's not gonna try and kill us. And I'm gonna be okay with that. So I'm just gonna come here and make sure that this guy dies. And that's a very high level play, because it means that you outnumber the bad guys, and that will allow you to take map control, unless your teammates all die horribly while you're doing it. And unfortunately, it looks like we're just sitting here off point trying to fight these people, and we have absolutely not a shred of map control, which is pretty unfucking fortunate for my fucking team. Well, it is what it is. We just have to deal with what we are dealt. Finally, a bad guy goes down. And we are going to go into Raper form. Even though all of our abilities are on cooldown, we will achieve nothing of great importance, which is typically what happens when you go into Raper form. And we're actually going to ignore all of these motherfuckers. And we're actually going to jump in here and try and go for the buffs. But knowing my luck, someone of theirs is already there, and of course he is. And it's the warrior, because of course, you know, we're actually very lucky that it's the warrior. Because as you guys know, warriors are very, very weak against reapers. And actually, my druid is here. He's here, and he's trying to help me. And we're just gonna hopefully take down this warrior. But it looks like he's just humping this pillar, and it's not gonna make it very hard for us to finish him. Because if I do get close, he will just jump on me and instantaneously rape me. But he is smacking my minions, you guys. What a fucking dick. Those helpless minions who can't actually do anything. But eventually, it looks like my skillful pressing of the 1 key will slowly bring him down. In the dumpster, he fucking goes. Down the shitter, he is. And we have a revenant trying to res him. What a cunt. We're just gonna interrupt that shit and throw some AoEs and interrupt him once again and hit him with more AoEs. And it looks like all of a sudden there are 2 poor mofos down on the floor. Not that it will help my team in the least, but hey, anything you can do, anything you can achieve is pretty good. The warrior will res himself and try to make his way towards me, which is going to be very displeasing. Makes me very sad. I have what I think is a teammate, or was it just one of my minions? I'm not actually sure. You guys can tell me. You guys can leave a comment telling me what it was. Yes, it was indeed one of my minions just sitting there, running towards me. And finally, we will actually secure this. And also, something else that helps you play very well and reach platinum is to let your teammates know how well they're doing. Okay, just give them some encouragement, some positive encouragement, because you need them to have a positive mental attitude throughout the game. Otherwise, you just go on tilt and they don't perform as well. Assuming, of course, they were performing well at all. But sometimes it's not really what's happening. Other times, what you happen is you have games like these. But it's actually very important, you guys. It's actually very important for matches to work like this, because it's actually intentional, by the way. It's actually very important when you're trying to go for platinum rating. You absolutely need 100% to lose your first placement match. Like, that absolutely has to happen, you guys, because what you're actually doing is that you're using the MMR system, the algorithm, and you're trying to manipulate it into giving you weak opponents. First, you need to convince it that you're a worthless piece of shit, that you're absolutely terrible at the game, and that your capacity to play it is on par with that of a 5-year-old child. And that will convince the game to give you easier matches going forward. So this colossal failure of a match is actually completely intentional. This is what you guys have to do, okay? When you guys play this game, and you guys are trying to do your best and reach the upper echelons of platinum, perhaps even legendary, you need to throw. Because I actually threw this match. I could have actually won it at any time, but I intentionally decided that the best course of action for me was to simply throw it and basically just throw the game down the shitter, which is what's happening here. Actually, it's actually going on right now, and this necromancer is actually getting completely molested. Poor dog shit motherfucker. But I don't think it's actually gonna help us because one of my teammates is dead, and yeah, they capped 1 point, and that's the end, you guys. That is actually the end. But here you go. This is step 1 on reaching platinum. And I hope you guys enjoyed that because this is actually a very good guide, okay? This is actually how it's supposed to go.